Live from the Sky News Centre, this is skynews.com with Matt Smith.
Yes, this is the programme where you choose the news, the stories being read, watched and talked about online. Tonight, Bin Laden's warning, a new audio tape from the Al-Qaeda leader, is the most clicked story on our websites. The news moving up across the internet as two more US tech companies threaten to pull out of China over the Google censorship row. And Save Our Cider, the web campaign against the budget that's getting the most buzz online. Plus, of course, we'll have the most popular web videos. Now, you can watch our live stream right now. It's on the Sky News homepage. The address for that, same name as this show. It is skynews.com. Today, there's been one budget measure that's getting people fired up. It's a surprise 10% duty hike on cider. Tens of thousands of people have now joined a Facebook group protesting against the rise that kicks in on Sunday. And a web campaign has now been launched to try to get the Wurzels and their song I'm a Cider Drinker to #1.
I am the cider drinker. I drinks it all of the day. I am the cider drinker. It soothes all me troubles away. O-R-O-R-A, O-R-O-R-A. Proper job. Wanna try some, young un?
OK, joining us now from Bristol are Tommy Banner from the Wurzels, and on a webcam from Norfolk is Jono Read, the man who started the Facebook group. I won't ask which is which because I think it's pretty obvious, but Jono, I'll start with you if that's all right. What's the point of this Facebook group? Is it a bit of fun, as Facebook groups often are? Is there real cider drinker anger behind it?
Well, I started this group as a cider drinker. I really wanted to inform people that aren't normally engaged in politics about this tax, as well as provoking a reaction. The word spread throughout the online community, and last night was attracting 30 people a minute to this group. This just shows how unpopular this tax is. Now, 24 hours later, we have more than 23,000 members, and it shows encouragement, really, that as a Facebook group, this is more about politics, and this is still getting people talking. I think the main issue is the belief that this isn't really going to stop binge drinking, and it's only a tax that's really going to hit one drink. This, as a result, is really going to see the traditional apple cider makers being hit the hardest, and this isn't helping the fact that pubs are already struggling in Britain.
Well, hang on there, Jono. We're going to check in with Tommy, who joins us. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Cider has obviously been on your rider for a long time. What do you think about this 10% tax duty hike?
Well, it must be the highest tax hike ever, 10% above inflation. I've never heard of anything as high as that.
Now, cider
I
sales...
think it's
Sorry to interrupt. Cider sales have obviously gone up because of the Cider on Ice Brigade. Presumably that's not how you drink your cider.
No, but ice wastes it. Not only that, you don't get as much cider in the glass.
So what can you do you think, Tommy, to combat this 10% rise? It sounds like a done deal.
Well, it sounds like it, but the only thing is, I mean, I think he could be putting a noose around his own neck for next month. I think it's a bit of a vote catcher, but unfortunately it's for the Conservatives and the Lib Dems. I don't think he's done himself any favours.
Jono, as I was saying there, that this is about cashing in on the cider market, which has exploded thanks to things like Magners and Bulmers. Magners are saying that they'll absorb this 10% rise, so it's one of the biggest selling. You don't really need to do a lot to campaign against it, do you?
Well, I think considering Labour have said that they're all about agriculture, I think we should be looking after the smaller chains and the smaller cider makers before we worry about what Magners is doing. I think that's the main impact of what we're worried about today, whether this is going to have a strong impact on people like Aspel's and the smaller chains.
And what about the accusation, Jono, that the people who drink these pints of cider on ice have got the cash to cope with an extra 10%? It's the middle classes, isn't it?
Well, I think, one of the jokes on the Facebook group at the moment is, well, surely something like champagne should have been taxed more. They've got the more money. It's not, it's not a drink that's just for the middle classes. It's a drink for all. And I think the lower classes are certainly going to feel the pinch of this.
Now, Tommy, your famous song was, of course, I'm a Cider Drinker, as we saw there, and a bit of a campaign to get it back in the charts. Is this cashing in on the 10% hike?
Well, I don't really know. I don't think so. I mean, it's lovely that Facebook has started this campaign, but I mean, if it does go in the charts, the money is going to be donated to charity, so it's not commercially beneficial for us.
Obviously, I was talking about the two sort of big popular brands, those ciders over ice. I won't mention them again because I can see it causes upset. But what about the sort of local makers, the West Country makers? How will this hit them, this 10% rise?
I think that is the worst point of it all, really, is because there's a lot of small cider makers in the West Country, and I don't think they can withstand that. I shouldn't think they make all that much profit as it is, and to have that on top, I think you could see some redundancies in small businesses.
And Jono, in terms of your Facebook group, remind us of the numbers you've got and also tell us how many people you'd like to get on board.
Well, we were looking at 23,000 a little while ago, and it's increasing by the minute. So I'm hoping that we can get a strong reaction and hopefully be able to tell Labour exactly what we think.
OK, and Tommy, one last question for you. If cider becomes too expensive, would you start drinking lager?
No way. No way.
All right,
no.
Go treat yourself a pint of Scrumpy then. Thanks very much. We'll find out how the budget affects you on our website, skynews.com. Plus, there's the chance there to watch the Chancellor's speech again if you missed it.